Been a while out for the weekend. Me, myself, and my 3 friends. They can feel it broken and leafed in. ASAP niggas.
Guys, Josh here. Now, I'm going to be doing these videos. So this is going to be a 2-part series, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to track your food to ensure that we're gaining weight, which is today's video, or part 2 is to ensure we're losing weight and losing the correct amount of weight. There's a difference between losing weight and losing fat, because if we're actually losing weight but not fat, it's not exactly the healthiest option, is it? Before we get started, most importantly, we've got 3 steps. Number 1 is subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. Number 2 is do not forget to follow us on social media. And number 3 is do not forget, in Australia, we do have competitively the lowest prices online, so do not forget to go to our website, supplementkingdom.com.au. Now, getting onto it, what I'm going to say is, a lot of guys come in here and they'll say, look, I'm trying to gain weight. No matter how much I eat, I just cannot do it. I'm training really hard, but I just can't seem to put on weight. They tell me they're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're having biggest meals they could possibly have, but they just can't put on weight. So what you find a lot of the times is these guys will buy a mass gainer shake, which these shakes will have anywhere from 6 to even 1,300 calories or so. They'll consume these and they'll say, oh, well, I'm not gaining weight. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. But the reason for this is because what I've found is after doing a little bit of questionnaire with them, they're taking up one of their meals. In particular, probably most of the time is going to be lunch, and they're replacing that with a shake. Yeah, you might be getting a little bit extra calories, but nothing dramatic. Rule of thumb, if you're going to be getting a weight gainer shake, you have one of those in between those meals. It's liquid calories bumping those calories up. We must consume more calories than we burn in order to gain weight and continue to gain weight. Now, the most important step, and a lot of guys, and I mean a lot of guys find that have this exact same process, is they're not tracking their food, okay? All they know is they're eating a lot, but they don't know how much they're actually eating. Not that I'm endorsing this, but I would recommend to get an app called MyFitnessPal, sorry. All you have to do is enter a food, calories, macros is already done, it's already on there, okay? Enter in the food you're going to consume every single day. And this is going to find out, how many calories we're consuming. Because what I find is a lot of guys that one day they're having maybe 1,200 calories, the next day they're having 2,300, and I've actually, I know one guy once I actually talked to, he goes, oh, I'm having a shitload of calories. I said, okay, well, how many calories are you actually consuming? He goes, oh, well, I just think it's around this number. So I sat down and I talked to him, I say, okay, give me an approximate sort of, how much you eat in a day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, in between meals. So we talked about it, and what I actually found was, after doing it, obviously I've been doing this for a while, I can relatively tell how many calories in a bit of a bracket. So he was actually only consuming about 2,000 calories, but he thought it was on about 3,500 to 4,000. So then we play around with his diet a little bit and end up consuming more calories and up putting away from there. So this is why it's so important, because it happens a lot of the time. People will say, oh, I'm eating so much protein, so many carbs, but I'm not putting it on. But really you're not, because you don't actually know how much you're consuming. So let's start by saying this. Let's start with 2,500 calories. Okay, that's our starting thing. So get our protein, let's just say anywhere from 150 to 180 grams of protein a day. Our fats, let's get anywhere from 70 to about 85 grams of fats a day, and I mean healthy fats. Maybe 20 grams worth, we're gonna have our coconut oil. Okay, that's our saturated fat, that MCT oil in there. The rest of it is going to be dominantly through polyunsaturated fatty acids, natural peanut butter, almonds, avocado, things like that. So that's going to be the rest of our fats. And obviously, sometimes you have a little bit of fat in your protein shake, or if you have dairy with your milk, a little bit is nothing to be worried about. Okay, the rest of those carbs is going to be divided up through the day. Well, I think it's really good to have a good chunk of those carbs right before exercise, especially if you're trying to gain weight, and right after your training as well, because you're training, you're depleting glycogen inside your muscles, so you need to replenish it. Okay, so 25 calories. So this is what we're going to do. Let's just say, for example, we're on 85 kilos today. We're going to eat 2,500 calories consistent for an entire week. Consistent. Don't look at the scales again until next Monday. Step on the scales again next Monday. Okay. Did you go up or did you go down? Okay. If you went down or you stay the exact same weight, you bump up your calories by 250 calories. Okay. Dominantly through carbs. Okay. If you did gain weight, stay on the same amount of calories. Do not change. I don't care what. don't change because it's working. You see a lot of times it's more in the weight loss side of things. You know, you hear people say, "Oh, I've gone on this diet, I lost like 5 kilos, but I'm going to try this diet now because my friend lost 7 kilos or so." And I'm like, well, this diet is working for you. Why would you change your new diet? Rule of thumb is stick what's working for you. But as a health precaution, don't have a big solid meal right before bedtime. You don't want a massive amount of fats, carbohydrates, protein and fiber right before bedtime, because what happens is sometimes people go to bed and people consume this meal and your body thinks, okay, well, I'm going to need this much insulin, to counteract this meal, but really you're only getting this much. So you've got this much insulin floating around the body, going to bed. Long story short, this is a fast track to pre-diabetes and diabetes. Gaining weight just is not worth getting any stages of diabetes or any sort of health precautions. I hope this video helped you guys. Don't forget part 2. I'm going to be talking about how to properly control your food intake to ensure you're continually losing weight.
Been a while out for the weekend. Me, myself, and I, my 3 friends. They can feel it broken and leafed in.